Okay, so for this assignment, you're going to need to know what focal point is. Focal point is the focus of an artwork, okay? It's the most important part. So on this one, the focal point is going to be this figure here and then the river that leads you through the image. But there's more detail on the figure, so we know that's the main thing, and then the second thing is this river. The focal point over here, because Kehinde Wiley has put all of this pattern over the entire background, okay, that makes it recede into the background. So that means that the figure here, again, is the focal point, the main object that we're supposed to look at. Now, another thing, you don't have to write this definition down on your sheet, but you need to know what composition means. That's the way an artwork is arranged, okay? So it's not accidentally put together as we see it for the most part. 98% of the time, it's not an accident. It's arranged intentionally. So it's all with thought towards like leading your eye around the composition, making sure you see the important parts, things like that, okay? But make sure you write focal point down in that first section. Here's another example of focal point. This is by Diego Rivera. Take a look at this mural. This was a huge mural that he ended up painting twice. Once in New York City, and that one edition of it was destroyed. And then he painted it again because he got mad in Mexico City, and you can still go see this one today. But what is the focal point in this? Okay, so there's lots and lots and lots of figures. There's only one figure with this atom kind of exploding molecule imagery here. Okay, so these two things going back and forth create this sort of X area in the middle, which is the focal point. Okay, drawing your eye in from all of this busyness around it. This is the focal point. Okay. So you're going to continue. Focal point is what you wrote in here, and then answer this question about the Diego Rivera painting. You're going to continue with the next set of videos to answer these two things. You might leave those videos open so that you can do your sketches here. These aren't necessarily going to be the sketches for your final project, because in your final, you're going to incorporate both depth slash space. It's referred to, the same thing is referred to, and with using those two words, and movement, you're going to combine these two things in one composition for your final. Okay, so you could add to one of these two sketches for your final idea over here, or they could just be two showing me that you know how to use them separately. That's up to you. Then once you have those sketches done, you're going to do a sketch of what you're going to do for your final project. It must include both movement and space slash depth, okay, which again, they mean the same thing, but in art, you'll see it referred to in both, using both vocabulary words, but it means the same thing. So you're going to do that final sketch here, okay? Then you're going to draw your actual final project on an entirely separate piece of paper. Then once you've done that and you've colored it and painted it and there's no more white of the page left and you're totally done, you are going to fill out this evaluation here. And in that evaluation on B, it asks you to do a sketch of what you've ended up with for your final. So that might be different than what you sketched out before you drew the thing. Okay. But this one is so that you can draw over it, draw arrows showing the movement in your composition. Okay. We're not going to do that on the actual artwork. If you have any questions as you're working through the rest of this, email me.